It is difficult to choose one poem to represent that indefinable quality in all poems, but this is a poem that I've carried with me since I was 15 or 16. I didn't know anything about its author, W.S. Merwin, but now I realise he was a British poet who moved to America and remained there, significant to me as an American poet who moved to the UK and has never left. Like many of his poems, this is like a sigh, a grey sky over a small town. When you go away. When you go away, the wind clicks around to the north. The painters work all day, but at sundown the paint falls, showing the black walls. The clock goes back to striking the same hour that has no place in the years. And at night, wrapped in the bed of ashes, in one breath I wake. It is the time when the beards of the dead get their growth. I remember that I am falling, that I am the reason, and that my words are the garment of what I shall never be, like the tucked sleeve of a one-armed boy. I remember being struck by that sudden and shocking final line. The poem was published in 1967, in the middle of the Vietnam War, so the image would have reminded readers of the young vets coming home damaged and maimed. But the poem also carries a larger theme of loss and how it manifests itself to the speaker. I like poems in the first person, and many of the poems I write speak from that position, but I like my first-person speakers to wear veils. The speaker of this poem addresses the reader directly, but the narrative he relates is unclear. The title suggests that the poem we are about to read is a love poem. It also suggests a moment in time, when you go away, and the promise is that we'll learn what happens in the wake of that moment. And we do, but what we're told is surreal, unreliable. The wind clicks like something mechanical. The north wind signals cold weather. The painters work all day, but at sundown the paint falls, and so their work has been futile. There is a doubling of darkness in sundown and black, and the tight rhyme of falls and walls gives it certainty. The clock returns to striking the same hour, which has no place in the years. This is an hour out of time. There is no forward movement. As the next stanza begins, we are still in the darkness of night, wrapped in a bed of ashes, the bed being a place we sleep or share with a lover, but here the bed is also the remnants of a fire that's burnt out. The love is gone, and so is the passion. We think too of cremains. The speaker is still alive, returning to consciousness or coming out of a deep dream. It is the time when the beards of the dead get their growth. The deathly hour suggested by the cold north wind, the black walls, the stilled clock, the ashes. We recall that even after someone dies, their hair and nails continue to grow. The speaker remembers that he is falling, perhaps still inside his dream, that he is the reason for what we don't know, and that his words are the garment of what he shall never be, the way we say things we can never live up to, like the tucked sleeve of a one-armed boy. The simile shows us that the garment is not a robe or even a shroud, but a hollow gesture, the sleeve tucked because the arm it is meant to hold is absent, a phantom limb, a phantom like the lover, the you, the addressee who is already gone when the poem begins. Add the war to this poem, and the wasted labour, the clock striking the same hour, begin to take on another meaning. The ash, the beards of the dead, the one-armed boy, represent casualties of this useless battle. The final lines perhaps speak of the poet's inability to stop it. What I admire is how complexity hides behind Merwin's plain language and the looseness of the form. The music ticks beneath the surface like the clicking wind and the striking clock. The poem asks you to read it again, to inhabit its understated but terrible loss. That's why I'm still struck by it, 40 years on, and why I will continue to feel it represents for me what the best poems can do, spark a deep emotion in you without realizing why or how, like a magic trick.